Okay, so I know you're probably wondering why me and Dime wanted to do both here. So, to sum it up, we want to tell scary stories. Have you, finally lost it, Rocky? It's literally not even October, it's May. And probably close to the end of May. Yeah, why do you want to tell scary stories? It's not even the spooky. Because telling scary stories is fun. It's funny to see how people get scared, okay? You called someone getting scared funny. Okay, fine. But when you get scared from my story, I'm pretty sure you'll be crying to your mommy. All the way over in Japan. Durr. I'm not gonna cry. Yeah, we're boys, we don't cry. Sure. Anyways, any stories? Sure, I'll go first. It was dark and gloomy one night in 1945. There was this group of horses. They were headed to a forest, not suspecting a thing. They were just gonna go camping there for 1 or 2 nights. And they had packed all the essentials, except they forgot to pack one thing. The most essential of all things. Food and water. As they arrived at their campsite and started unpacking everything, they realized that the one person that was supposed to bring the food and water didn't. And the person that didn't bring the food and water had to go out and find berries and collect water from a stream late at night for dinner. But when the girl didn't return after a couple of hours, her friends went out looking for her. 2 went by the stream, 2 went by the berry bushes in the forest. And at precisely 12 o'clock midnight, there was a huge rustling and a very loud scream. The 4 friends went towards the scream and the rustling, only to find a decapitated body right in the river, and some sort of creature, a shadow figure, eating it. No one to this day knows what this shadow figure was. All they know is as soon as it realized it was being watched, it leaped into the shadows and never was seen again. Scared? No. What about you, Silver? Any idea? Oh, yes, I have quite the story. Oh, please, do tell. There was once a group of 4 horses, all headed to the beach for summer vacation. But one thing they didn't know is that the beach they were headed to was known for having murders happen during the summer. And their friend that was taking them there knew of this. However, he did not tell them about it. So when they arrived there and went to the beach, they realized that no one was at the beach, only them. At first, they thought it was a miracle that they could go to the beach, have the entire beach to themselves. But after a few days of staying there and seeing no one come to the beach, the others started to get suspicious and worried of why no one else was coming to the beach. So they went to the other hotel rooms, knocked on the doors, asking people, but as soon as they brought up the beach, people just shut the doors in their faces. They were so curious why, so they went on the internet. And there and behold, they found the truth. 1 5-day long trip for nothing. Please, that's not even scary. Oh, I'm just getting to the scary part, Dime. The 5-day long trip lasted, as one would guess, 5 days. But that's not how it should have lasted. What's that supposed to mean? When the friends went on the computer in their hotel rooms to check why no one would go to the beach, They found some very interesting information about the so-called murderous speech. Supposedly, there was a group of 5 horses that went there 4 summers before this group, and that group had a total of 2 foals and a stallion, a mare, and a teenager. It was a big family, and one thing that happened was on the first night, one of the youngest daughters went missing. Second night, the teen went missing. The third night, the stallion went missing. Fourth night, the other younger daughter went missing. And the fifth night, the mother went to the beach, wondering where all of her family had went. And right as she put her feet in the sand, she felt a body below her feet. She nervously looked down, and right below her feet were the bodies of her family. Right under her was her husband. Ooh, that gives me goosebumps. A good story, so. Yeah, great story. Yeah, updated. Oh, I got a better story. Okay, go. And this story is the story of Penelope the doll. Now, this story goes back a couple hundred years, and it is a true story. So, long, long ago, there was a couple. They were pretty old, and they felt lonely in their home, so they adopted a teen about to turn 18 about a week or so. So, they decided that when she turned 18, they'd give her a doll that was passed down generations, not knowing the doll was possessed by a demonic figure. When they gave the 18-year-old girl the doll for her birthday, she was grateful. The doll was beautiful, and she loved it. It was like a sibling, per se, to her. So, when the girl went to sleep that night, she could feel breathing down her neck. She woke up, nothing was there. She went back to sleep, assuming it was just the wind since she had her window open. But the next day, as she awoke, she realized her doll had moved positions. Before, it was sitting on the rocking chair in her room. Now, it was leaning against the back of the rocking chair. And when she went out for breakfast to ask her parents if they had come into her room at night, shut the window, and moved the doll, they said no. She thought it was just a coincidence that the doll had moved, and maybe she closed the window at night and just didn't remember. So she went through the day, not assuming anything. She went to her graduation. Well, her friend's graduation. And that's when she saw it. The doll that she left at home was sitting right in the front row, acting as if it was a human. Then right behind the doll, standing right above it, was a dark, shadowy figure. She screamed at the top of her lungs and ran off the stage. Everyone else at the graduation, sorry, I forgot the word, graduation, was confused on why she was screaming. They thought she went crazy, so they didn't pay any mind. When her and her family got home, her parents asked her what happened, and she told them. They, of course, didn't believe her. They thought it was some childish prank she was playing, when in reality, it wasn't. She went to bed that night, putting the doll outside her door, but at night, she awoke to her door opening. And when she saw her door opening and peeked over at it, slightly, she saw the doll walking in her room. And right behind the doll was, the shadowy figure. Then the doll stopped walking and sat down on the floor, right outside the door. The shadowy figure, however, walked right up to her, bent down, and whispered in her ear, "You will never get rid of me. I will always be a part of you and this house." The end. God, dude, that was crazy. Is that actually a real story? Well, yeah, it is. It's only for like generations. I guess that explains why you're so scared of dogs. Anyways, I think that's all. Let's go. Bye-bye.